Good news. I can continue my reading. Casca lives. Whew. Don't think I wasn't worried there. Thought she was going over the cliff. And she would have gone over the cliff were it not for our friend Guts, who reached a hand out at the last moment and saved her life. But before that, it was interesting. Guts, of course, had his greeting with all the guys, was welcomed back by most of them. Corcus, yeah, but a Gorkonet, he was cool. But they all welcomed him back. And in the deepest recesses of his primitive lizard brain, Corcus is even glad he's back. So then he's called off to talk with Casca. And I'm sure he's thinking, what a great time to catch up. That's not what she has in mind. She assaults him. It's a battle royale. He's not even trying, of course. And in spite of the great swordswoman she is, she's no match for Guts. And he's practically toying with her. And I'm sure going through his own head is, what's going on here? What could possibly, because he's clueless about women. And Casca's kind of clueless about men too. She just knows in her head what she wants, but she doesn't understand men at all, or she would have figured out Griffith a long time ago. So Guts isn't even trying, and he's just fending her off. But she is truly frustrated because of all that she's gone through. She's had a miserable life for a year, and Guts has just had, I guess you could say, the life of a lone wolf. She's had it really rough. He's had it fairly easy, and she's mad. She's mad. Maybe she's mad because he didn't come and rescue her. But she had to go through whatever she was going through to figure out, is it Guts or is it Griffith? It's very interesting. They get together. The long and the short of it is, of course they get together. We knew that was going to happen after the sword fight between them. Classic. But it doesn't go as smooth as you would think. And the good thing about that is they both get to unburden their souls, if you will. Casca gets to talk about how she knows she could never have been to Griffith what she wanted to be. He didn't see her that way. He couldn't possibly see her that way. And so it really saddened her. And it was a deep, deep grief. For her to even consider someone else was remarkable. So deep was her commitment to Griffith, his dream, and she being some part of it, that I think it was difficult for her to see Guts. And anytime she saw him, maybe in that romantic way, she would have probably thought it was a betrayal to Griffith. So she couldn't see that way. But Griffith's been tortured for a whole year. She has it in her mind, of course, to rescue him. I'm making a prediction that Guts is going to help out. Guts also gets to reveal everything of his past too. And his past really is worse than Casca. Not emotionally, because it's two different stresses, two different stories. Hers is unrequited love, and that's pretty horrible. But his is brutality. And he reveals all of that, all of the abuse from Donovan, from his own surrogate father. We've discussed him before, what a disappointment he is. And losing a leg just made it all worse. Losing his wife, let's say, made him pinpoint his hatred of Guts. And yet there's no indication that Guts ever did Gambino wrong. So he's been living with that for 10 plus years probably? Horrible. He shares it all with Casca. And it makes all the difference. They're able to get together, and there's their whole romantic scene, interrupted in the middle by their need by each of them to unburden their hearts, which they do. So it was really a very touching thing. I kept thinking, straight man that I am, it's like, let's go get the preacher.
Why? Oh, to like marry them?
Yeah.
I've thought about this. In my head, they are married now.
Well, yeah, there hasn't been any kind of ceremony that we've ever seen of anyone.
But in my head, I'm like, back then, like that was marriage.
I think that they probably think that way too. Yeah. So anyway, they're a couple, but we have to harken back to the first book because it was out of sync.
Yeah.
And we do find Guts alone. So I don't know what's going to happen after this. They have a huge task ahead. They're a small group now, a determined group, but they're a small group. They're honed to probably a very fine fighting force, because those who stayed have been through the battles for a year, have honed their skills, and those who wanted to leave are gone. They've got a good fighting force, but they're looking to somehow take on, if necessary, a castle to rescue Griffith. A big question arises. What if they do? What's going to happen with Casca? Will she revert? Does Griffith even want the position anymore of leader of the Hawks? I don't know. Got to find out, which I'm looking forward to doing. But that now is going to be book 4, which I will start tomorrow.